Carol and I are absolutely delighted by today's announcement and thrilled at the prospect of a wedding sometime next year.
For years, the world has been captivated by Kate Middleton, the poised, elegant, and seemingly unshakable future queen. Every step she takes, every smile she shares, and every duty she performs is scrutinized under the blinding lights of the media. But hidden beneath the grand spectacle of royalty is a woman who shaped Kate's resilience, grace, and unwavering determination. A woman who stood in the shadows, quietly molding the future of the British monarchy. That woman is Carol Middleton. And now, after decades of silence, she is finally revealing the truth. For so long, Carol Middleton was dismissed as just another royal mother-in-law, a supporting figure in a much larger play. The tabloids painted her as an ambitious woman, desperate to secure her daughter's place in the most powerful family in the world. Critics whispered that she had orchestrated Kate's royal romance, maneuvering her into Prince William's life like a masterful chess move. But the reality is far more complicated. Carol's influence on Kate was never about securing power. It was about survival. Behind every refined bow, every carefully measured word, and every gracious royal appearance, there is a woman who prepared her daughter for a life that would demand absolute perfection. Her silence had been her shield, her refusal to engage with the chaos of the press, a testament to her discipline. But now, after years of holding back, she is speaking up, not for fame, not for recognition, but because the truth can no longer be ignored. Royal insiders have been left stunned by her revelations, which peel back the pristine veneer of the monarchy and expose the personal struggles of the Middleton family, the quiet sacrifices, the private battles, and the relentless pressure of being the mother of a future queen. All of it has remained hidden. Until now, the world may know Kate Middleton as the poised and graceful Duchess, but the strength behind her composure was forged long before she ever stepped into the royal spotlight. It was built in the quiet moments, behind closed doors, where Carol Middleton instilled in her daughter the ability to endure. Kate's grace was not a birthright, it was taught. Her resilience was not inherited, it was drilled into her by a mother who knew that once her daughter entered the world of royalty, there would be no turning back. But what drove Carol Middleton to finally break her silence? What truths has she been holding on to for all these years? And how did a woman from humble beginnings become one of the most influential figures in modern royal history? To understand the weight of Carol's words, we must go back to the beginning, where her story started. Long before the glitz of royal life, before the cameras followed her every move, before the world whispered about her influence over the future queen, Carol Middleton was just another young woman in London, one with big dreams and no guarantees. There was no silver spoon, no royal connections, no easy path to success. What she had instead was ambition, the kind that burns quietly but never fades, the kind that propels a person forward even when the odds are stacked against them. Born in 1955, Carol grew up in a working-class family where success wasn't handed down, it was built, brick by brick, with hard work and resilience. Her father was a builder, laying concrete and bricks in the cold English weather, shaping homes for other families while ensuring his own never went without. Her mother ran a jewelry shop, spending long hours selling rings and necklaces, always hoping for a better tomorrow. Carol watched them closely. She saw the sacrifices, the determination, and the quiet strength of ordinary people striving for something more. And she knew one thing: she would not settle for an ordinary life. That hunger for something greater led her to an unexpected path. She became a flight attendant, a job that promised adventure, a chance to see beyond the streets of her childhood. But it was never just about the glamour of travel. It was about something much deeper, the belief that she was meant for more. And fate, it seemed, agreed. It was in the skies, amid the constant motion of airports and flight schedules, that she met Michael Middleton, an air traffic controller with his ambitions. He wasn't born into wealth either, but he shared Carol's drive to build a future beyond the one they had known. Together, they dreamed of a life bigger than the one they had inherited. Marriage brought stability, but ambition never slept. Carol wasn't content with just making ends meet. She wanted more, not just for herself, but for the family she planned to raise. And so, in 1987, she took a leap of faith. With no investors, no safety net, and nothing but an idea, she launched Party Pieces, a BB business that started in her kitchen and would eventually grow into a multi-million-pound empire. She saw a gap in the market, affordable party supplies for everyday families, and she seized it. She worked tirelessly, packing orders, managing logistics, and turning her vision into reality. It was never easy. The sleepless nights, the financial uncertainty, the moments of doubt, they all threatened to undo her. But she refused to fail. Through sheer determination, Party Pieces became a success. It pulled the Middletons into financial security, allowing them to give their children the kind of life Carol had only dreamed of. Kate, Pippa, and James grew up in a home where hard work was not just encouraged, it was expected. They attended prestigious schools, not because of privilege, but because their mother had fought for it. She had built their future with her own hands, ensuring they would never have to struggle the way she once did. But success is never guaranteed, and even empires can crumble. Years later, Party Pieces faced financial struggles, and the business that had once been a symbol of triumph became a source of uncertainty. Some saw it as a fall from grace, but Carol saw it differently. She had built something from nothing before. She knew what it meant to start over. Failure did not define her, resilience did, and it was that resilience, that unshakable determination, that became the foundation of her children's values. She had given them more than just financial stability. She had given them strength. But her most profound influence would be on her eldest daughter, Kate, the girl who would one day marry a prince and step into a life that would test everything her mother had. Was Kate Middleton's royal destiny carefully planned? Some say yes, pointing to the calculated steps that seemed to place her directly in Prince William's path. But the truth is far deeper, far more complex than a mere strategy for social elevation. Kate Middleton didn't just stumble into royalty, nor was she merely lucky. Behind her polished composure and effortless grace is a woman who prepared her for the unforgiving world of monarchy, long before the world ever noticed her. That woman was Carol Middleton, and her influence on Kate was no accident. From an early age, Carol Middleton understood something most parents never have to consider, that her daughter would need to be more than just intelligent or kind. She would need to be unshakable. Raised in a home where success was built through grit rather than inheritance, Carol had no illusions about how the world worked. She knew that privilege opened doors, but it was character that kept them from slamming shut. And so, while other children played without care, Kate Middleton was quietly absorbing lessons that would one day serve her in the highest circles of power. Confidence, poise, and grace were not just traits Kate happened to develop, they were drilled into her. From her schooling at the elite Marlborough College to the polished etiquette that made her stand out in any room, Kate was being shaped into a woman who could thrive in an environment that demanded perfection. Social adaptability was not an afterthought, it was essential. Carol made sure Kate was comfortable in any setting, whether in a room filled with aristocrats or in a more casual setting among commoners. Every conversation, every interaction was preparing her for a future in which she would be watched, analyzed, and judged by an entire nation. Critics whisper that Carol Middleton orchestrated her daughter's romance with Prince William, maneuvering her into his orbit with an almost strategic precision. They point to Kate's decision to attend the University of St. Andrews, the very place where William was studying, as evidence of a grand design. But is this manipulation, or just the foresight of a mother who understood what it took to succeed in a world that was not built for outsiders? If Carol Middleton had simply been an ambitious woman chasing a title, Kate would have crumbled under the relentless scrutiny that followed her every move. Instead, she thrived, and when the weight of royal expectations threatened to crush her, Carol was the pillar she leaned on. When the press tried to brand her as weighty Katie, mocking her long courtship with William, Carol was the one who reminded her daughter of her worth. When the media hunted for weaknesses, hoping to expose cracks in her composure, Carol was there ensuring Kate never faltered, because Carol Middleton had prepared her daughter for this. She had spent years equipping her with the strength to survive in a world that had chewed up and spit out those who came before her. But as Kate settled into royal life, Carol's role did not diminish. It became even more critical, especially when the family faced an unexpected crisis. In January 2024, the world watched in confusion as Kate Middleton vanished from the public eye. The ever-poised Princess of Wales, known for her unwavering presence at royal engagements, was suddenly nowhere to be seen. Speculation erupted like wildfire. Was she ill? Had she suffered an accident? Was there something the palace wasn't telling the public? The whispers grew louder with each passing day, headlines filled with theories ranging from exhaustion to a royal retreat. But the truth was far more heartbreaking than anyone had imagined. Then, after weeks of silence, Kensington Palace issued a statement. Kate had undergone a serious abdominal surgery. No details were given, and no explanation was provided. The secrecy only intensified the speculation. What was being hidden? What was so serious that it required an operation yet couldn't be openly discussed? The lack of answers fueled relentless media scrutiny, with paparazzi desperate for any glimpse of the princess. But behind the palace gates, something far more profound was happening. A family was holding its breath, bracing for news that would change everything. In March 2024, Kate Middleton broke her silence. In a solemn and deeply personal video message, she revealed what the world had feared but never dared to say aloud. She had been diagnosed with cancer. The surgery, initially believed to be routine, had uncovered something far more insidious. She was undergoing preventative chemotherapy, a battle she had never expected to fight. The nation gasped. The future Queen of England, young, graceful, seemingly untouchable, was now facing one of life's cruelest battles. Support poured in, yet no amount of public sympathy could change the reality of what lay ahead. But while the world processed the shocking news, one person had already stepped up. One person had seen this crisis coming long before the announcement. Carol Middleton, the woman who had prepared her daughter for the pressures of royal life, was now preparing her for the biggest fight of all. She didn't wait for instructions, didn't hesitate in uncertainty. She simply acted. She became the silent force holding the family together, ensuring that while Kate fought for her health, everything else remained steady. The household, the children, the emotional weight of the situation. Carol shouldered it all, just as she had done so many times before. While the media speculated on Kate's condition, Carol Middleton was already making sure her daughter had the strength to fight. She didn't demand attention, didn't seek recognition. She simply did what she had always done, protected her family. But this time, the stakes were higher than ever. And as Kate's battle continued, Carol's role in her daughter's life would become even more vital. When the royal family was shaken, Carol Middleton didn't panic. She took control. The world may have seen a dignified silence, a composed figure standing in the background, but behind the palace walls, she was the force that kept everything from falling apart. As Kate faced the brutal reality of her recovery, Carol stepped into a role more critical than ever before. She wasn't just a mother anymore. She was the protector, the strategist, the quiet architect, ensuring that the future queen had the space to heal without the weight of the monarchy pressing down on her. While Kate recovered, Carol took over the responsibilities that no one else could. She ensured that the Middleton home became a sanctuary, a place where Kate could be a mother first and a royal second. She took care of the small things that, in a crisis, become insurmountable. The meals, the routines, the emotional support that no official aid could provide. Prince William, burdened with both his duties and his fears for his wife's health, found in Carol a steady presence, a reassurance that the woman he loved had the support she needed. And for Kate's children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, Carol became the constant, the one who made sure that their lives remained as normal as possible, despite the storm raging around them. The media had long painted Carol Middleton as an ambitious woman, someone who had maneuvered her daughter into the most prestigious marriage in the world. But in those moments of crisis, the world saw the truth. This wasn't an interfering mother clinging to power. This wasn't a woman obsessed with status. This was a mother who did what any mother would do: protect her family at all costs. She didn't ask for attention and didn't seek validation from the public. Her only concern was ensuring that Kate had the strength to get through the darkest days of her life, and it worked. With Carol managing the household, Kate was free to focus on what truly mattered: her recovery. There were no distractions, no unnecessary pressures, no royal duties pulling her in different directions. For the first time in years, she was allowed to simply be a daughter, a wife, and a mother, without the relentless scrutiny of the outside world. But Carol's role wasn't just about keeping the family functioning. She was also the shield standing between them and the media storm that was only growing more vicious with each passing day. For years, Carol Middleton stayed silent, enduring the media's twisted portrayals with quiet resilience. She watched as the press dissected her every move, branding her as the mastermind behind her daughter's royal destiny. They called her calculating and accused her of orchestrating Kate's romance with Prince William, if love could be manipulated like a business deal. But Carol never responded, never fed the headlines that sought to twist her into a villain. Instead, she remained composed, unwavering in her devotion to her family. But now, after decades of scrutiny, she's finally speaking out, not with scandalous revelations or dramatic rebuttals, but with the undeniable truth that no tabloid could ever rewrite. The media had built a caricature of Carol Middleton, painting her as a social climber obsessed with securing her daughter a place on the throne. They reduced her story to a single narrative, ignoring the years of sacrifice and the relentless work that built the Middleton family's success from the ground up. Every decision, Every moment of guidance she gave Kate was twisted into a scheme. And when Kate finally stood at the altar with the future King of England, the world didn't see the mother who had prepared her daughter for an unforgiving life in the public eye. They saw a woman who had allegedly played the game too well. But the truth was far more complex. Carol Middleton never sought attention, never chased the spotlight. Yet the press refused to leave her in peace. Paparazzi camped outside her home, hunting for unguarded moments, waiting for her to slip. They followed her on family holidays, snapped photos through windows, and stared her words into headlines she never wanted. A journalist recently revealed that in a rare moment of openness, Carol admitted feeling vulnerable under the relentless glare of the press. Vulnerable, not because she was afraid of their stories, but because no matter what she did, she could never protect her family from their reach. Yet, she refused to play the media's game. She never lashed out, never gave them the scandal they craved. While others would have crumbled under the weight of endless accusations, Carol remained composed. A lesson she passed on to Kate, because she knew that survival in the world of royalty wasn't about proving the press wrong. It was about refusing to let them dictate your story. And so, Carol Middleton stayed true to herself, focusing not on the headlines but on the one thing that had always mattered most: her family. Despite the pressures, she found solace in her private life, especially in the company of her children and grandchildren. But even as she embraced the peace of the family, the scrutiny never truly faded. The world was always watching, always waiting for the next chapter of the Middleton story to unfold. Beyond the royal titles and palace walls, beyond the protocol and the scrutiny, Carol Middleton is simply Granny. To Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, she is not a figure of power or influence. She is warmth, comfort, and familiarity. While the world watches their every move, analyzing their gestures, their smiles, and their futures, Carol Middleton watches over them with the quiet devotion of a grandmother who understands that no crown, no royal obligation can ever replace the simplicity of childhood. From the very beginning, Kate has leaned on her mother, not just as a guiding force in her own life, but as an anchor for her children. Carol has always been there, standing in the background, ensuring that while duty calls, her grandchildren still have a world that feels normal. When Kate became a mother, it was Carol who reminded her that beyond the responsibilities of being the Princess of Wales, she was still just a mum, one who would need patience, strength, and moments of calm amidst the chaos. And when royal duties pulled Kate and William away, it was Carol who stepped in, offering the consistency and security that only a grandmother can provide. For years, she has worked tirelessly to shield her grandchildren from the intensity of their royal status. She has played games with them, taken them on walks, and given them the kind of childhood moments that could never be captured in a press release. The Middleton estate has become a sanctuary, an escape from the formality of palace life, a place where George, Charlotte, and Louis can run through gardens, laugh without restraint, and for just a little while, be ordinary children. It is there, away from the flashing cameras and watchful eyes, that Carol's influence is felt most deeply. But Carol Middleton is not just a presence in their lives, she is a force that keeps them grounded. She understands the weight that will one day rest on their small shoulders, and she knows that the only way to prepare them is to give them a foundation built on love, not expectation. She teaches them resilience, the same quiet strength she passed on to their mother, the same unwavering belief that no matter how grand the world may see them, their worth is not defined by their titles, but by the values they carry. But there's more to Carol than just being the future Queen's mother. She has carved her legacy, one that extends beyond royalty, beyond public perception, into something far more enduring. Carol Middleton's story isn't just about being a royal mother. It's about resilience, ambition, and unwavering devotion to family. In a world that often measures success by titles and inheritance, she carved out a path built on determination and self-reliance. She was never handed privilege, never given a shortcut to the life she envisioned. Instead, she built it with her own hands, rising from a working-class background to creating a multi-million-dollar business, not for status, but for stability, for the future of the family she cherished above all else. She redefined what it means to be a royal matriarch. Unlike the generations before her, she did not enter this world through aristocracy or lineage, but through sheer perseverance. Where others may have faltered under the immense scrutiny of the royal spotlight, Carol remained a fortress of strength. She never sought the approval of the press, nor did she allow the false narratives to shake her resolve. She understood that true influence isn't about public perception, it's about the quiet decisions made behind closed doors, the lessons passed down from mother to daughter, and the values instilled in a family that will one day rule a nation. Her silence has been her greatest strength. In a world addicted to exposure, where every move is dissected and every word twisted, she has refused to engage. She has never defended herself against the accusations, never given the media the reaction they so desperately craved. Instead, she has chosen dignity. While others chase the spotlight, eager for recognition, Carol remains in the background, focused only on what truly matters, her family. And in doing so, she has shaped the future of the monarchy more than anyone ever expected. Carol Middleton may never wear a crown, but her impact on the monarchy is undeniable. Through resilience, quiet influence, and the values she instilled in her daughter, and now in her grandchildren, she has ensured that the future of the royal family is one rooted in strength, not in privilege, not in entitlement, but in the kind of unshakable determination that built the Middleton name long before it was ever linked to the House of Windsor. And while the world may one day forget the headlines, the speculation and the whispers, one truth will remain. Carol Middleton was never just the mother of a future queen. She was, and always will be, the foundation on which the next generation stands. Carol Middleton's rare moment of openness has given the world a glimpse into the pressures of being the mother of a future queen, but through it all, she has remained steadfast. Do you think the media has been fair to Carol? Let us know in the comments.